Here, aren't we?
Leeds United made the most of their second chance in the European Cup against Stuttgart, the team they say has more foreign reserves than the Bank of England. Leeds won 2-1 in Barcelona in front of a tiny crowd. Their hero was Shutt. He scored the winner less than a minute after coming on as a substitute, and tomorrow's his birthday.
Hello.
Hey,
Welcome back. How are you doing? All right.
Yeah, not bad.
Good. Was your last Wednesday? Did you feel a little bit lost? Not being on the show.
I felt lost for about 2 weeks as I've been laying patios.
Ooh. What about you, Mike? Did you feel lost last week?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. It's good to be back. What can I say?
It is. So, welcome to episode 148 of the Talking Shutt podcast. We had a week off. We had a bit of pre-season. Ish, but we're back. So yeah, various things going off in our lives that we needed to deal with in that week. No dramatic for anybody. Obviously, what might have become obvious to a few people is that we're not on the LS11 YouTube channel. We're now on our very own shiny YouTube channel, the Talking Shutt YouTube channel. So if you are watching on YouTube, or maybe even not, but you intend to, make sure you go subscribe. We'll have some extra content coming up on there soon, some interviews with people, and maybe some other stuff as well. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. That'd be great. Before we get into the football, both Leeds and the European Championships, as you can see, I'm adorned in my Euro 96 England shirt when Gaza scored that goal against Scotland where he lifted it over Colin Hendry and fired it into the back of the net. And Mike's wearing a Scotland shirt. How fitting. So yeah, before we get into all stuff Leeds and the Euros, we need to hear from one of our sponsors, the guys at The Terrace. They've been with us since the very inception of Talking Shutt, and they're going to stay with us again for next year. So a big thanks to them as always. Obviously, it's coming to barbecue weather. We've talked about it. It's going to be absolutely scorching at the weekend. So if you need to get yourself a lovely little pinafore so you don't get spattered with red hot burger fat, get over to The Terrace. You can get it adorned in your retro kit, whichever you like. Also, all the other stuff on there, all their leisure wear and stuff that's out now. But also, don't forget their retro kit mugs that they started with way back when that still do a roaring trade, and some beauties on there. I sent one out to Dave, who won on the show before we broke up, and he got a Legends mug. So yeah, go check them out, terrastore.com. Big thanks to them. A few people asking where Raggy is. He's not available tonight. He's away with work in Luton, I think, which is a little bit unfortunate, but you can't have it all. And Rick Kerr is starting a petition for Mike needs to be sacked. I'm not too sure. I think it's possibly due to the Scotland shirt, but we can discuss that in greater detail in a bit.
Discuss it after the game.
Guys, if you are watching on various channels and stuff, please share the stream.
Fight and talk.
All that type of stuff. And make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. Go and do it now if you're watching on YouTube. Anyway, let's talk about some Leeds stuff, lads. Have you got to the point where like you miss club football already? Because I came to the weekend just gone and I was like, oh, this is shit. Like,
I don't know. No, I don't think to be honest, I have been busy, but I'm not yet. Yeah. I'm enjoying the rest, but I think I'm about with my mates the other day as well. That like, I'm excited, obviously, to get back to a game and be back in the stadiums, but I'm enjoying the nice little break because it's sometimes, as good as we have been to watch, it's been like scary at times as well.
Yeah. I mean, this year will be a funny one for me because it's a return back to the ground, but it's the first time in my adult life I'm now working Monday to Friday. So I'm not having to jiggle about leave. I'm not having to, call in favours to be able to go to games on a Saturday. I'm free most weekends. And I'm not too sure I want to handle that. I kind of like the drama of having to sort of leave that in a funny kind of way. So I'm actually looking forward to that, but I'm also more apprehensive, as I keep mentioning on the show, that I'm terrified I will not get tickets for the games. which will hurt. It'll cut me deep, but we can try. We can only but try. So let's talk about some Leeds United stuff. There's a little bit of news starting to trickle out. It is obviously silly season where we get linked with every man and their dog. Anybody who's got
literally every man and his dog.
Yeah.
Anyone that is registered as a footballer has been linked with us.
Even
and
if
it's
you don't
only going to get worse.
Left back.
Yeah. Two legs, one's played left back, and Argentinian, you're getting linked to Leeds, no problem.
Yep.
So, bit of news then coming out of Leeds this week is rumours of Ollie Casey potentially going to Blackpool. And now I personally think that's a good move for Ollie myself. I think he's dropped down the pecking order a little bit. He's got, Llorente, Cooper, Cox, Struijk, Charlie Cresswell ahead of him. He's 20 years old. He probably needs to start making a move now if he wants to have a successful career, and end of the day, that's what the academy's for, to cash in and bring cash flow back into the team as well if they're not going to make it in the first team. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. I mean, what sort of figure do you think we'd expect for Ollie Casey, Ben, to go to Blackpool?
A couple of $100,000, like maybe something. I don't know.
Mike, what do you think, mate?
Yeah, 250 grand.
Yeah.
And it just, like you say, just keeps the youth system ticking over.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one. Hot off the press from the Inside Ellen Road podcast with our friend Graham Smith and Joe Urquhart. Orta's been talking to a left back. He may have legs and he may be Argentinian. He may be not either. But he's been talking to a mystery left back who's not been mentioned, and it's not Javi Galan, who's been much linked recently, the Huesca left back. So, any ideas, lads? Any inklings? Any feelings what it could be?
It's obviously like every name, like you said, every name that appears is like, no, it's not him.
Yeah. Obviously,
we're slowly getting to the point where we're running out of left backs.
Running out of names, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it is that thing of like a new name gets dropped and you're kind of disappointed, but then you get built up into that new name and then it's forgotten about again. I can't take it anymore.
Full hype train.
Emotional abuse. Yeah.
Obviously, Romain Perodas, I think I mentioned that, is off to Southampton by the sounds of thing for 8.5 million. Now, I find that kind of interesting because if we really wanted him, like was reported, at 8.5 million, you think we'd have gone and got him. I mean, let's be honest, he ain't picking Southampton over us, is he? Let's be honest. Yeah.
There has to be a reason that we're scrimping. You know what I mean?
Are we scrimping? Not like, because you could go for the Galvan guy from Huesca, and he's what, 3.5 million?
That's the release clause,
which seems another bargain for the stats that he's been giving out.
Yeah, but if we're then not going to go for him, you know what I mean? It's like if he ticks all the boxes, just get it done.
I just need to turn my mic down, I think.
I think there might be somebody else. I think last year we primarily said that, well, we're signing everybody from Championship, anybody who's ever good, and then we signed none of them. So it makes me wonder that we're quite clever at bobbing out diversions. Look over here while we sign this person over here. So
and is that? I think you've got people. I guess like Mike sort of alluded to there, where he said, "I was scrimping," but that might not be the case. It just might be that these guys fit the bill in sort of stats and stuff like that. It could be totally left field. We could be going to spend 20 million on someone who.
I mean,
we just don't know what that is. Maybe we can't sign him right now because he's away with his Euros team or whatever, and that summer when Bates said it's hard to sign people because they're away with Euros, then they're on holiday, and then But I don't worry. Yeah, exactly. But I don't think Leeds is that Leeds anymore. So definitely isn't that Leeds anymore.
It just doesn't make a lot. I mean, unless the whole Alioski thing has thrown the club, like a bit of a curveball. Like they're never intending to have to sign a new left back because the contract's on the table, as we know, for Alioski.
But do you think the club would do that? Yeah, like
I'd have a problem.
Alioski has been Alioski and he's filled in brilliantly at times, not so much other times. If you're looking to progress as a club, you want that proper left back.
Yeah.
And I think that's always been the case since Barry Douglas left.
Yeah. But the thing is now, if we're trying to sign a new left back and also renew Alioski's contract, are we after 2 left backs? And that's why we're trying to do it a bit cheaper. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
maybe. I suppose we're just gonna have to wait and see, aren't we?
Or saving money for another position.
Yeah, interesting. Well, there's some more positions coming up in the news in a minute, Mike. So, next name mentioned, Elif Elmas, Macedonian midfielder at Napoli, linked today via what I think is probably some North Macedonian football fan site. But linked with us today, 21 years old. Impressive YouTube clips, but so did Hadi Sacco. So we'll just leave that there. Again, we'll have to.
I'd not heard of him until last night, and I'm going to plug T4 Football. They're doing a bit of a group sort of going through each group of the Euros and telling like who's the ones to watch and stuff like that. And I heard his name. He seems to be the one for Macedonia. He's the main player to look out for. And then I saw he were at Napoli, and I thought, why would you leave Napoli to go to Leeds? Like, unless it's maybe we could offer more money these days. But Napoli finished 5th in Serie A. Yeah. I just think is that maybe a step down.
Left Rennes though, didn't
he? Yeah, true.
Interesting. Another name that's been mentioned, obviously, that's not on our list at the moment, Kvyat Kreshvilny.
You had his name down a few episodes ago.
I know, I've just checked it out there. But I think he's kind of spoiled himself a little bit, saying he'd love to come to Leeds and work with Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah. He was picking up
maybe Jurgen Klopp's replacing Bielsa when Bielsa goes.
No, I don't want that. Anyway, next name, and this one's an interesting one because he's been doing a full Rodrigo de Paul and flirting with Leeds fans on Instagram. I even tried to goad him a little bit from our Instagram, but he was having none of it. Matthias Kuna, the Hertha Berlin utility attacker, because he's played literally all over the place for Hertha Berlin. Brazilian, which is an interesting one, bearing in mind we've currently got a Brazilian in the team and a lad who was born in Brazil but plays for Spain. So, maybe bringing some more Brazilians in to make Rafinha feel at home and vice versa. Could be an interesting one. Obviously, Hertha Berlin just been relegated, so that could add to that. And interestingly, from Instagram, he's working pretty hard in pre-season, if you've seen it. Doing a lot of JKA style social media posts, hopefully with a better outcome than JKA, with a bit of luck.
I was just looking at the Elmas guy, and he's played 33 times for Napoli last year. And maybe I undervalue Leeds United, but I just can't see that move.
Maybe Gianni's been making dinosaur noises in his ear for the last 2 hours and said you must sign for Leeds.
But you'd want to be away from that after the Euros, wouldn't you?
True.
He might. Maybe it's one of those they've got together. And Jan is like his best friend now. They're having a good laugh. He's a young lad, and they're just having a load of fun. But then it gets to end at Euros. It's like when you go on holiday and you've got that one mate who's ace for the first few days, and he's got party going and he's getting all shots in. But then you get to end at holiday and you just think, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah. I think just going back to slightly to Kuna, Alan Sturks mentioned it. Kuna, a good bet because of versatility. And the interesting bit coming out of that is we've now got Rodrigo who can play as a 9 and a 10. We've now signed Tyler Roberts to a new 3-year deal who can play as a 9 and a 10. Got Paddy who has played as a 9 and a 10. We've got Raf and Harrison who's going to sign who can play on either wing. Costa, who can play on either wing. So it kind of fits into that ability to cover numerous positions as well. So that is why it's a pretty interesting one. Some news hot off the press. Harry Chapman claiming that Rodrigo's tested positive now in the Spain camp. What are they doing in that Spain camp? COVID is literally whipping through that place.
He already had it, didn't he?
He's already had it once. He got long COVID, didn't he?
Yeah.
So I'm not seeing that myself. Ben, our roving reporter, have a little look, mate, and see if there's any news of Rodrigo now catching it. How he could catch it when he's in like a social bubble thing, I'm not sure.
No, he's
he's
in.
No, but isn't there like a second bubble where in case anyone has to come in?
Yeah.
Which you'd have thought like they'd have been overcautious with the second bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that bubble's not very good.
Got COVID. fucking hell, what about the bubble? What if they get COVID?
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, we'll have to have a look on that one. No sign yet of Marcelo's announcement, but the fact that he's still killing some under-11s, making them play murder ball in the Democratic Republic of Yorkshire, tells us that he's not going anywhere just yet.
Imagine that. You just rock up for your weekly training session and Bielsa's there.
Mate, yeah, but I guarantee, right, having coached kids, there'll have still been some kid like in Power Rangers who were meant to be tracking his runner. And Bielsa shouting, move, child, move, along them lines. And he's like full fucking dino mode in background. If Bielsa can get a tune out of a load of under-11s, he's a better man than I am.
Yeah.
Because, my God, they're a pain in the arse. Anyway. But yeah, all joking apart.
I just imagining a kid that's sort of left back just going, yeah.
Mate, legitimately,
chase the ball.
When I coached my, I think they were under 7s, so it's a bit different. But I remember it was this absolutely howling day. It was minging. Like, I had to really talk him into going up pitch. And I looked over, and my goalkeeper was sat on his bum on the edge of area with his gloves off, building a mud castle. And it were massive, this mud castle. And I'm shouting, Oliver, stop it! Concentrate on the game, stop it! And then his hands got muddy and he couldn't get his gloves back on. Oh, it was just a nightmare. So, anyway, joking apart though, Bielsa coaching a load of under-11s. Does any other world-class manager with such high accolades as himself do that? Of course they don't.
So, some of these managers won't even coach the under-21s at their club.
Mate, some of these managers don't coach the first-team players at these clubs.
Or, if it does happen, they have a big media hoo-ha about it, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh,
when it went to Terry Venables, who notoriously didn't do any coaching, he was just a man-manager.
I remember when Man City did a competition for like a non-league team to go and train at their training complex, and like Pep came in and went, "Oh yeah, I've studied your videos and all this," giving them like coaching and that. And you just think, oh, but obviously Bielsa doing it, no cameras, genuine article in it.
No cameras. Adidas T-shirt. Nailed them.
I'm getting an early nomination for Shithouse of the Week in here because Harry Chapman's just doing us here because the words say Rodrigo and the rest of the Spain players in both bubbles tested negative today.
Oh, Harry, man.
Get him out.
Harry, you've killed us, bro.
So get him down. I'm going to write him in his notes now. Shithouse of the Week.
Long-time listener, Harry. Long-time contributor. Been here since, I think, nearly day one. I'm a little bit disappointed, Harry. But never mind, mate. These things happen. It could be worse. You could have put a picture of a spider up and crashed a quiz. But anyway. Another name that's come out today, Ben, you told me about this one, and I think it's come from the Mirror, is Leeds could have an interest in Fulham's Harrison Reed. Now, he only got made permanent at Fulham last year. He is a player I rate, but he's a player I'm a little bit underwhelmed with.
I don't think there's much in it. I read the article and I thought it seems very much that someone's saying, here's Harrison Reed, and Leeds like him.
Oh, right, one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like with Harry Wilson, isn't it? Like, Bielsa rates him. Yeah, like 2 years ago.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Just one on all these Liverpool fans saying we're going to swap Rafinha for Harry Wilson. Have a word. Have a word. You don't swap Megan Fox and Mrs. Doubtfire. Back the fuck up. It's not happening.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going with.
But the lead in the race for him.
Yeah, what race?
The race is like
egg and spoon race.
Golf carts.
Anyway. So, we'll get a few comments in before we move on to our next talking point, which is obviously the European Championships that's due to start very shortly. Stuart Charlson says we'll sign 3 or 4 world-class players. Sorry, not world-class players. 3 or 4 class players that the press won't mention at all. Yeah, I think we could do that. Yeah. Alan Sturt could be Ryan Bertrand from Southampton for free. Nah, wrong age. That ain't happening. Not a chance. Alfonso Pedraza. That'd be quite funny, wouldn't it? Imagine if that came full circle and he came back again.
Left back.
Stephen Perkins commenting on me gone full 1996 Alan Shearer. I'm adorning the 96 Alan Shearer shirt. Love this shirt, it's class. Twitter proper hammering Tyler Roberts. We'll talk about that in a second.
Really?
Yeah, and various other things saying, Ultra's keeping it under wraps. A few people asking Ben to get some cheap OnlyFans. I'm not sure what Ben's doing on his days off or anything like that. Hi from Ireland.
I don't know any of them.
Yeah, don't know any of them. Right, so...
I'm too tight to pay out like that.
Tyler Roberts announced today has signed a new 3-year deal. We've discussed it at massive length on this podcast before about what we think of him and all that type of stuff. But ultimately, I think everything that we've said before counts for nothing because Bielsa sees he's worthy of another contract, sees something in him that we probably don't see. So the proof will be in the pudding. Let's see what happens.
He's got a lot of ability, and it just needs to learn how to use it. For me, I think it's a good deal. He's a good player to have around. He can come in and do something. He was slowly getting better each game he played and stuff like that, and it's just going to be a learning process, isn't it?
Yeah, cool. So
he's 22.
Yeah, exactly. He's 22. Sometimes I forget that. I mean, I've been a critic of his, but we'll see. I'm open to change. Before we move on to the Euros, though, we have a little bit of a special tonight. We're going to make it a regular thing. It's going to be Mike versus Ben. Yes, Mike's absolutely dying inside of this. So a little bit of fun. Mike versus Ben, pitting them against each other in a competition of Leeds United knowledge. So this week's subject and how the game will work will be: you'll have a topic from a certain genre of Leeds United, and you'll give me one answer for each question. If you get it right, you get a point. If you don't get it right, you don't get a point. Okay? So, the topic this week is Leeds United Players of the Year since 2000. Now, being the host that I am, I'm going to give you the first one. The year 2000 was Harry Kewell.
Okay.
Are we going like year order?
Ben, 2001, what do you say?
Oh, I know.
Rio
this.
Ferdinand.
Yeah.
No.
Is it not?
Mike, what do you say?
I'd say Gary needs better internet, but yeah.
Alan Smith.
No. The answer was Lee Bowyer.
Oh, maybe.
2002.
Yeah. Champions League.
Come to Mike first. 2002. Who was Player of the Year in 2002?
That's got to be Rio. Rio? No. Fucking hell.
I'm gonna go Rio before he says it.
Rio, you're frozen a bit. Oh God. Fuck it, Rio Ferdinand.
Ben, are you sticking with Rio Ferdinand?
Yeah.
That's a point each. Well done. It was Rio Ferdinand.
Yeah. I could see
2003. Let's go. 2003.
Can we just?
First
you're cutting out a bit, Gazza. So
Yeah.
Am I?
Get Judd off the internet. Tell him to get off.
Yeah.
There's nobody in the house except me.
No. Right, you're all right now.
I'm back in the game. Right. So 2003. Who says it? Ben, coming to you first. Stop googling, Ben. Get off the microphone. Get off the mouse. Cheater.
Hands are here.
I remember you
2003.
cheated at the Christmas quiz at Leeds. Anyway, go on. 2003.
That was me. That was Guy.
No, you got caught. 2003.
I'm gonna to 2003. Will it been Peter Reid keeping us up?
He definitely went Player of the Year that year.
Alan Smith.
Mike, he's gone Alan Smith. What do you go? 2003.
Yeah, I think Alan Smith.
A long time.
I think Alan Smith. Sorry.
Both wrong. 2003 was Paul Robinson. 2004, coming to you first, Mike.
That's quite interesting, to be fair, because that was the year we had Venables and he put Robinson in, and we should have really kept playing Martin.
Yeah, that was the year. Yeah. Mike, 2004.
Jesus.
2004 must have been Smith then, because that's the year we went down.
Baduka, top scorer in league.
Point for Binks. It was Alan Smith. So you're keeping tally of your points. I think it's 2-1 to Ben at the moment.
I thought you were keeping tally up, Quizmaster.
2-1 to Ben at the moment.
2-1 to Ben. Fair.
Yeah. 2005 then, coming to you first, Ben. 2005.
Ooh.
It gets a bit worrying after this year, I'll be honest.
David Healy.
Mike, what's you say it?
Gary Kelly.
2005.
Yeah, last season, wasn't it?
Neil Sullivan.
Yeah.
2006. Ben, your turn to answer first. 2006.
Rob Hulse.
No, Mike. 2006 to get back level.
I've no clue. It was a shit year.
Well, I'll tell you what. The runner-up was Paul Butler.
Oh, that helps. I can't even. Oh my
The
god.
runner was Paul Butler, and that was the year Willa got into the playoffs.
No, 5 or 6 on it, yeah. Oh, fuck knows. I can't think off the top of my head.
Have a guess, Mike. Have a guess.
I can't.
Have a guess, Mike.
I can't.
Ben,
I
do
actually
you want to
can't.
jump in? Mike's, get up.
Can I give Mike's?
Yeah, go on.
I'll give Mike's as
Yeah,
Jermaine
yeah.
Wright.
That's a shit.
We might have
guess,
sold him
Vincent.
by then.
Yeah, go on.
Might have sold him by
Ben,
then.
who are you going for 2006?
Rubbles.
No. Gary Kelly, 2006.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly, Mike. I was giving you enough
That-
chance.
I think that was his last year, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
2007
yeah.
then, 2007. Let's go.
Which will have been the year we got relegated. Oh.
How can you have a player of the year for that year? Oh.
Can't really, can you?
No.
Oh, this hurts my
Am
brain.
I getting to the point where I have to start giving clues out? Or?
No, let me just think of players we had that year. I might go Alan Thompson.
No, Mike.
Oh. I'm proper blanking here. It's not a good time.
Eddie Lewis.
That's a good shout, yeah.
Eddie Lewis. Right, so 2008 and 2009. Same.
Jermaine
player.
Beckford.
Jermaine Beckford, point each.
Yeah. That's a given.
2010. Mike.
Ooh, oh, Kisnarbo.
Patrick Kisnarbo. Well done. 3 apiece.
Yeah, I'll let you have that, yeah.
I'd start going back to
2011.
games then.
Ben. 2011.
Johnny Howson.
No. Mike, can you steal? 2010. 11, sorry.
11. We'd sold Becky, haven't we? Or had we?
Yes.
Oh.
We'd sold Becky.
No,
No.
had we?
No, we haven't, not yet. But
No, not yet.
Jermaine Beckford
This
is
the year
to
with-
fall out of favour.
Hadn't he gone by then? He went.
Yeah, the year
I'm
before
guessing
he
this
fell
is the
out.
championship year, the year we finished 7th in the championship.
It is, yeah. Come on, who was the player at that time?
Snoddy. Snodgrass?
Oh.
No. Ben, can you steal?
Well, I went with Howson, didn't I? But
Oh, yeah, sorry. Max Gradle it was. So no point
Yeah.
for me.
Oh, yeah.
2012 then. Mike, coming to you on purpose, 2012.
So, we get... Snoddy must have won it at some point.
Yes. Is that your answer, Mike?
Yeah.
Robert Snodgrass. Well done.
Proper, like, blagging this, mate.
Ben, the next one, 2013.
I'm going to go Snoddy again.
Mike, can you steal?
And
I'm going to have to start
Johnson.
putting a timer on
Bradley
this.
Johnson.
Bradley Johnson, hell no. It
No.
was Sam Byram.
I'm trying to, like...
Yeah.
Sam Byram. 2014, Ben.
So 2014.
I can't.
Well, you're just giving it away. That's the easiest giveaway ever. But yeah, Ross McCormack then.
Ross McContract, so you get 1 point each because I gave it away. 2015, we're starting to come a bit more up to modern day now. 2015.
Oh, God.
What year was that? So, Brian McDermott. Obviously, I'm not saying him, but yeah.
Right, so I'll give you a little clue. The next couple of years are both Academy products.
I want to go with Lewis Cook.
No, Ben.
Alex Mowat.
Yeah.
Alex Mowat, 2015, a player of the year. 2016, then, Mike, redeem yourself.
Lewis Cook.
No. Ben,
Charlie Taylor.
Charlie Taylor is running off at the counter now. 2017, Mike. 2017.
Oh, Chris Wood.
Chris Wood, indeed. Well done, Mike. Right, 2018, 19, and 20.
Oh, yeah. This is the easiest one. You got me the point.
My head's gone.
His head's gone. His fucking head's gone.
Let me jump
Quick,
in.
Mike,
I beg you,
quick.
let me jump in. Pablo Hernandez.
Yes, Pablo.
Yes. Well done.
Stole
Well done,
it from me.
And 2021 for both
Stuart
of
Dallas.
Stuart Dallas. So, final scores are Mike with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And Ben with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ben wins with 1 point.
It's like a shit version of Ant versus Deck, this, isn't it?
Yeah, that was a really shit version. Anyway, we probably won't do that again because it was fucking pony.
Quite funny.
That was actually
Top scorers next week.
Yeah,
from 1990.
Top scorers things, yeah. So, for those who are still listening and haven't tuned out, we're now going to move on and talk a little bit about the Euros, the talking Euros. Llorente, sadly, in a Leeds United related Euro news, has caught COVID, like all of the Spanish team, by the sounds of things.
But they're all negative.
All negative, but he's expected to miss 2 weeks anyway to follow protocols of isolating.
The quarantine.
We obviously know that Rod's in the shadow bubble, or whatever it might be called. Ben White becomes England's 26th man. I'm just going to keep peddling the narrative that that's purely because of how much time he spent at Leeds, mainly because it really annoys Brighton fans, so I'm just going to keep saying it over and over again. If he had not come on loan to Leeds, he wouldn't be in the England side.
If he'd have signed for Leeds this last summer and played for Leeds all season, it'd have been like first pick.
Yeah, true.
It'd be White and Stones. So
true. So, looking at the Euro 2020 or Euro 2021 postponed from 20.
Are we calling it 2020 or is it 2021?
Well, officially, branding wise, it's still 2020, but it's 2021. But to be honest, we're just going to forget about 2020, aren't we? We're going to forget it never happened because of the shit show.
Everybody gets a birthday back as well.
Cool, that makes me 36 again.
Yeah.
Hold on. 35 again? How old am I? I've lost track of how old I am.
How old am I?
So, a little bit of a recap on the Euros then for anybody who's not seen it. Group A contains Italy, Switzerland, Turkey and Wales. Group B is Belgium, Russia, Denmark and Finland. Group C, Ukraine, Netherlands, Austria and Jagiellowski's North Macedonia. Group D, England, Croatia, the Czech Republic and Scotland. Group E, Spain, Poland, Sweden and Slovakia. And Group F, Germany, France, Portugal and Hungary. So Group F, I think, is what's been deemed as the group of death due to the amount of teams that are in there.
The same amount of teams as other groups?
No, I mean like top teams-ish. You looking forward to it, lads? Are you looking forward to Euros? An absolute festival of football?
I don't know. I've not felt the excitement yet, but maybe on Friday. I said to my girlfriend that Friday night I am coming home from work and it's going to be the opening ceremony. It's going to be the first game, and that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, same for me. I think I've got planned because obviously I don't work weekends now. I've got planned to get the telly in the garden, get the garden furniture out, and drink some mucky beer and watch the football. It sounds like a plan to me. Be really honest. So, let's get into doing some predictions then. Obviously, before we do that, we need to hear from our fantastic sponsors, these guys.
It's here. It's arrived. So, from our new sponsors at Manscaped, where we can offer you 20% off with Shaving Shut discount code. Let's see what we've got. So, little bag, we'll look at that in a bit. Some large boxer shorts, other sizes are available. Now we're into the hardware. Got shower friendly knacker trimmer, including LED light. 7,400 RPM, so the little leaflet thing tells you. Bit of ball toner. Game changer. Bit of anti-chafing ball deodorant. Made without sulfates, parabens or dyes. Gentle on the skin. Let's see what's in this little bag. It's only a game changer. You can store it on your bedside table. So, Manscaped. Your balls will thank you. 20% off with Shaving Shut at checkout. Go check them out, manscaped.com.
Lads, I have Manscaped t-shirt news. Been saying for weeks I've lost it. I found it last weekend.
Where were it?
So my neighbours came round for a little drink and a bit of a watch of the telly, and my missus.
Where's this going?
My missus just randomly walked into the garden wearing a Manscaped t-shirt that on the back of it says, "Your balls will thank you." I was like, Shell, is this really like normal behaviour? Anyway, so Manscaped, listen, it's coming up to Father's Day. I think it's Father's Day a week on Sunday, maybe, or this Sunday. What better way to thank your father than bringing you into the world for harnessing you in his knackers by getting him something to clean up his knackers, trim his knackers off a bit, make him feel good about himself, relight the passion between your mum or his new partner, whichever, by going to Manscaped and getting 20% off.
Well, yeah.
So, Mike, which bit of that are you not happy about?
If you're struggling for a gift idea, then it's perfect, isn't it?
Listen, it's class.
No,
it's so good.
Yeah.
So good. 20% off. Make your dad feel special this Father's Day by buying him a knacker trimmer. I mean, I've got kids. I'd be happy if they bought me a knacker trimmer.
Yeah.
I think, even just the range of lotions, tonics and all that stuff, it's all good stuff, like we said before.
Yeah, because let's be honest, as you get older, stuff begins to droop. So maybe a bit of ball toner is going to assist your father if he is of the aged variety. And there you don't want your dad sitting on his own nads, do you? That'd be painful.
Yeah, and when we get older as gentlemen as well, we tend to neglect things. So, it's a good thing for any lad's self-esteem,
Yeah.
And I would, if you work on your feet all day, maybe your dad still works on his feet all day, the anti-chafing... What are you giving me there?
I just wondered where that were going. Your dad works on his feet, he could shave his feet with his knacker trimmer.
No.
You can if you've got hairy feet.
Yeah. If your dad's a hobbit.
Well, like Lee Johnson. If your dad's Lee Johnson, you can shave your feet.
I'm trying to recommend the anti-chafing ball deodorant because that works wonders. If you're into your walking, your hiking, any of that stuff. Some people like to use talc, but that's
as well.
class.
We're not just purely talking about older fathers. We're talking about younger fathers. And one thing I can say is that the Manscaped boxer shorts provide quite a lot of comfort. So if your dad's going for snip, he can have some like hugging boxer shorts as well, which are particularly nice. So
Yeah.
Anyway, we cover all bases at Talking Shutt. Manscaped with Shaving Shut 20% off. Go check it out. Really good gear. So we're going to now look at doing some predictions for Euro 2020 in 21. First and foremost, lads, we're going to pick a dark horse, a team that are going to do a Greece from back in Euro 2005. Four?
Well, it's every even year, so it's not going to be 5.
I always remember driving back to Germany and being in Eurotunnel when the game had just finished, and I thought, fucking hell, Greece have won.
Yeah.
Don't know.
That was mental, wasn't it?
That's a great story.
Yeah. I was like, wow, Greece have won. Wow.
I'm in a train under the sea. Wow.
Wow, and Greece have won. No, there's a better story to that. I was actually going to be late to go back to my place of work and fearing a bollocking, and then seeing that Greece had won. So.
Did you say that you were coming into Europe and the Greeks stopped you? Even though Greece is nowhere near France and the English border?
No, because in the type of employment I was in at the time, I don't think they would have bought that argument, to be really honest.
Who's manscaping?
Somebody just going past on a stolen motorcycle outside my house. It's normal stuff around here. So, dark horse then, lads. You've got a choice of North Macedonia, Slovakia, Hungary, Wales, Scotland, Finland, Czech Republic and Austria. The reason we picked them teams is simply because they're the lowest in the betting. So, I'm coming to you first, Mike. You're going with Scotland, aren't you?
Of course I am. Yeah.
So, Mike is going with Scotland. Obviously, some split loyalties there with Scotland, Mike. Which part of Scotland are your family from?
Glasgow.
Glasgow.
The friends I've been watching have been fantastic. They're exciting to watch, and it's a great time as well because obviously England are dross to watch. So.
I'm going to say so England, but no, it's not, is it? We'll get on to that.
It's poor. Ben.
I'm going to go Hungary.
Hungary.
Mainly because, and I can't even say his name, but that midfielder, Sloboslai, who's in my football manager team, and I just think he's going to be class. I'm really looking forward to watching him play.
I'm going to go with Zhani Alioski's North Macedonia, because they've also got Elif Elmas in there as well, who we've also been linked with, so I'm going for Macedonia.
They did beat Germany in qualifiers as well.
They did, yeah. They did. I'll get Raggy's a little bit later on, because obviously he's busy with work. Moving on to, after that then, top scorer of the tournament, coming to Ben first.
I'm going to go with the one I've done the betting on. I've gone with Lukaku.
Good shout.
I think he's gone after a good year at Inter Milan, seeing as he's not looking like Mark Henry anymore from when he were at Man United. But how did he get that big at Man United? Because
maybe him and Luke Shaw had like a Just Eat account.
Maybe so. Well, they must have been caning that like 5 times a day.
Possibly.
I can't really speak on that, but our professional footballer got that big. And it was clear he could not move around the pitch. You look at him now; he's like half the guy he was then, and he's scoring for fun for Inter. So yeah, I think he'll be with the supply he's going to get from the rest of the Belgium squad.
Yeah,
I'm going to go with him.
Mike, you going Che Adams, yeah?
No, we get our goals from just randomers.
Who's that striker they've got for Scotland? Other striker. Yeah, him.
Yeah, I'm
so any good?
glad we dropped McBurney, man. Like, Jesus Christ. But top scorer.
Hey, don't be saying that. I'll be coming after you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I might get a claim in, get a bit of money.
It's from up over your end.
Yeah. To mix it up, I'm going to say Mbappe. I want to say Mbappe.
Swine.
Yeah. It's going to be France or Belgium, innit? Let's be fair. Like, if it ain't either of them two.
I'm going to go Rodrigo Moreno.
Nice. He's not even in it yet.
Listen, I'm confident he's coming out the COVID shadow bubble into the real COVID squad. And we know that COVID means you win everything because Karen Kearney said so. So let's get him in there. Get him in there. Rodrigo. And we'll get Ragsers a little bit later on. Top assist maker.
Ooh.
That's a tough one.
I think you're going to struggle. I mean, is he okay to play, actually? It's Kevin De Bruyne.
I've got a problem with Kevin De Bruyne. So they're like, oh, God, we don't know if he's going to play. He's broke his eye socket. You don't play football with your eye socket. Well, one of them Zorro masks, get on with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think he's going to be up there, isn't he, as one of the main ones. But then again, you look at how Belgium doing them kind of tournaments and stuff like that. Are they just going to score a lot of goals and not do much, like get to the last few rounds and then fail again?
Possibly.
Yeah, I'll go De Bruyne.
You're going De Bruyne. Mike?
I think I'd say De Bruyne as well. I'd be, I want to say maybe Foden, but not with Kane up front.
Not with Southgate managing the squad. We'll be playing 17 right backs.
Yeah.
And Foden will be on bench. Wow.
Yeah, De Bruyne.
I really don't want to go De Bruyne because I want to mix it up a bit. Is Memphis Depay in the Netherlands squad?
Yeah.
I'm going to go Depay.
Okay.
And we'll get Ragsers later. Winner of the tournament. I just want to say that I've drawn Spain out of the sweepstake at work. And then they all got COVID.
Yeah.
I'm going to go France. I just can't look past France. They did the World Cup. They're going to do the Euros, I think.
Ben, France. Mike?
Yeah, France.
Which maybe should have gone. Man, you look at like the players that they could for assists, like Griezmann or Coman, Ben Yedder,
Giroud.
Oh, Giroud, yeah. I saw a bit at the end of their game last night,
Yeah,
and Giroud came on and scored. I think he scored a couple.
Yeah.
But he just comes on and scores, and when you've got the delivery of the players that they've got,
Yeah.
Yeah, and you bring Giroud on for the last 10 minutes and win a game. It's crazy. If Benzema doesn't do it before that.
I'm going to go different. I'm going to go with Adam Barlow over on YouTube and say Portugal.
Okay.
And we'll get right.
See, I don't know about Portugal.
Right.
I can't. Yeah. They've got some good players, but I don't know whether they're a team. Do they just rely on Ronaldo?
Carlos Queiroz still the manager of Portugal?
The manager is Fernando Santos.
Oh yeah, Santo. Yeah,
and I think he was the manager last time they went. Did they win it last time round?
Yeah, they did, didn't they? Ronaldo did a lot of crying.
Ronaldo was crocked. Yeah, he's injured, wasn't he?
Yeah. So. Lads, then let's start looking towards England. Then, lads, I'll be honest. I am. I've got my England shirt on tonight. I'm trying to get into the mood. I'm trying to buy into the England hype. I desperately want it to be like Euro '96 again, where I absolutely loved it and it was amazing. And I remember Shearer doing that goal against Scotland and me trying to reenact it outside after he'd done it and all that type of stuff because I was only obviously pretty young. But I'm struggling. I don't know if it's COVID. I don't know if it's everything that's going on at the moment politically around football. I don't know if I'm just footballed out because we've just been football for ages, and I'm just really struggling to get the hype of England. I desperately want us to do well. I think we've got players who could do well. I just think that Southgate's tactics are negative. Like for me, I mean, I don't know about you guys. For me, I don't think defensively we're good enough to sit back and defend stringently and then get one or two on counter. So for me, I would personally just go, right, we're playing this back four, we're going to play one holding midfielder and then we're going to play Mount, Foden, Grealish, Kane, and we're going to have a right good go at it and just go out there and enjoy yourselves.
Yeah. I'd be happy with a back three, me. Back three and then holding midfielder. And just let them keep the ball,
Should we do it then? I've just loaded up BBC's England team picker because going on the centre backs. The problem is, I guess if everyone was fit, he's picking Maguire and Stones.
Yeah,
Stones has had the best season he's had for years.
Outside Diaz, though.
Yeah, but I guess that's the sort of caveat to it that he needs someone at the side of him who's gonna manage the game. And I think maybe Maguire could do that. He's not the best sort of player defense technically, but he'll head the ball.
If Maguire's marking him though.
Yeah, true.
My back four, I'd go with.
Well, let's do a formation. What formation we're going with first?
Are we talking about us or what we think they'll play?
Us as how we would pick it.
How we would pick it, right? I would go for 3 centre backs, 2 wing backs.
Yeah. You got 5. Yeah, 5. Or
We'll go. Are we playing 1 striker or 2 strikers?
1.
1. Yeah.
1. So let's go with that one. Yeah. So we'll go. Obviously, start at the top. Goalkeeper.
Fucking hell. Do you know something? As much as it absolutely pains me to say it, I think I'd probably pick Henderson.
Yeah. Get the nonce in. A legend.
You see,
I've seen them screenshots.
I don't. I don't know.
It's a point. I mean,
I think Dean Henderson's maybe the better goalkeeper, but if we're going to sort of play out from the back, Pickford. So I think Southgate will go with Pickford.
Yeah, I think
I'd love Nick Pope in there. I think we all would.
Yeah.
The thing that bothers me about Pickford is an accident waiting to happen from time to time.
Yeah.
When it comes down to
Henderson.
When it comes down to doing actual goalkeeping, you can. Anyway, I don't know. To be honest, I think that is arguably the worst bunch of keepers that we've had in a long time.
Yeah.
Or the most average bunch of goalkeepers we've had in a long time.
Charged out, and Ben White had to clear it off the line against Romania.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why
and George Edge weren't even playing either.
Yeah.
So, I guess there's 3 of us. So, are we taking a pick? Henderson, Johnson, Pickford.
I'll let you boys pick one.
I'll go Pickford.
I think it'll be Pickford.
6 and 2 threes between Pickford and Henderson for me.
Yeah. So right back. I mean, this is an easy one for me.
I'd pick Reece James personally.
Yeah, I'm Reece James.
Yeah, Reece James.
Left back.
Ben Chilwell.
I like Chilwell.
Yeah, I'm same.
Yeah.
3 centre backs.
For me, White, Stones, and Maguire if he's fit.
Yeah.
I don't want Tyrone Mings anywhere near that side.
No,
get him out.
and I think maybe I guess there's the option here if Maguire. We'll say Maguire isn't fixed. I don't think he will be.
Yeah.
But the sounds of it.
You go with Cody. Sure.
If you're playing a 3, you can play Cody. You play Cody in the centre, or you go Kyle Walker and play him on the right hand side.
I'd go Cody. I think.
But obviously, Godfrey's not in there.
Yeah, true. So we're saying Cody.
Yeah.
So your right winger.
Ooh, Sancho for me.
Oh, I don't know. Played a lot of times for Borussia Dortmund, but I haven't been overly impressed with him.
It all depends on how it's.
He walks in, but he kind of you feel like he knows that he walks in.
Yeah.
See, it's all who you're picking elsewhere now as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, let's just sort of pick
in the centre,
the Stonewallers. The striker, Kane's going to be up front. That's simple as that.
Yeah.
Let's go to the middle and work his way out from there, I guess, because I think the middle sort of sets itself out as well for me.
Do you know,
in that I'm going Rice and Mount.
Really?
Yeah.
See,
I just
Foden over Mount for me, or Foden over Rice. But then we did say we're a holding midfielder, aren't we? So yeah.
Yeah. I think Rice is better as a sort of 2 in midfield like that, and I think Mount would complement him with the running. And for me, I'm going Foden on the right.
Okay.
Jack Grealish on the left.
Because it's not a right winger, is he? Is sort of a right attacker. So because you've got James coming through the left, down the right.
Yeah. Foden as
and then
right.
Yeah. And then I'm going Grealish on the left.
Yeah. I'm not being funny as well, right? But you've got that, and then look on bench: Calvin, Jude Bellingham, Sancho.
Yeah.
You know,
Rashford can do a bit still.
The only thing that worries me, a lot is that other than Kane, I don't feel like there's many goal scorers there.
Yeah, you
see, I do in Foden. If Foden, Mount, and Grealish are getting around each other and getting around the box, I think there is, and I think there's sort of versatility in this team that if they want to go to a 4, you could put Cody like a 4-2-3-1. You could put Cody and Rice as the 2, and you've got Foden, Mount, and Grealish as the 3, and Kane up front. And as much as we want Phillips to play, I just don't think he suits either of them. If you're playing Phillips, you play him as a defensive midfielder alone, as in the 3, like we do. And I guess it's then your midfield. Like, there's a comment here from Alex Flaherty-Hurst, Foden over Rice, but I think you leave yourself very open in the middle if it's Foden.
You need to have some reassurance, don't you, there?
Yeah.
I think.
Some recovery. If you want to dominate possession, in the middle of
Do you know something, though? Obviously, we've picked that team. I think on the weekend, he'll go with 2 holding midfielders, and I think it'll be Rice and Phillips.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, because Henderson can't play for me. I mean,
no.
I'll be honest, I was a little bit disappointed, and I can honestly say I've not watched the full England games either time because, well, I've got some paint I need to watch dry. But to take the penalty off of Calvert-Lewin and then miss it, it's not really a captain thing for me. It's a bit of a knob trick, to be honest.
Yeah,
he wants to score his first England goal, but nobody cares.
Where do you put Henderson in there?
I don't think you do.
Like even if you're going a 4-2-3-1. and going what? So you take Cody.
Put Chilwell in for Cody.
Yeah.
And
Are
then
we going? I'll just do that for now so I can move him about. So go Rice. So if you're going Henderson and Rice, I think them two work well together in that position, like that. But who else are you missing out then? Because you're gonna have to miss out Sancho.
I don't see the delivery there.
I don't.
No, I don't.
Grealish and Foden. I just don't.
Neither of them are wingers, are they? Really? Not
no. In this kind of system, they're not gonna be either. So you need to go. Well, see, even now, who are you gonna pick to play left? Because it's either gonna, if you're playing wingers, you're going Saka and Sancho, aren't you?
I think it's a big ask for Saka at a massive tournament like this. Yeah, he's had a reasonably good season, but Jesus Christ, come on. Yeah. Anyway, so we've kind of picked our team, how we think we should play. It'll not look anything like that come Sunday.
Definitely.
I think.
I guess that's the worry right now. What is it going to look like? Yeah. I don't think anyone knows what team. Like I went out last night, and I think Danny Mills was on TalkSport on my way home, and it's Danny Mills, but what he was saying is they knew, and the friendlies even before we knew, like the World Cup last year, we had an idea of how they were going to play, who was going to play, and only thing that was going to change who was going to play was some good performances in them friendlies before, and that's what built up the hype, and I don't think we've got that as. Everyone's got hype for the tournament because it's an international tournament. It's a delayed international tournament, but I don't think there's hype for England there because they've not shown that in the games leading up to it.
I'm not being funny as well, but the friendlies have been damp squibs, have been boring, so boring that it doesn't fill you with confidence, does it?
You look at 3 years ago when they came to Ellen Road and played Costa Rica, and it was just Costa Rica, but you thought there's something about this England side, and that took us through into the tournament, and they were a good feeling. And I just don't feel that right now.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
Where will England get to? I'll come to you first, Mike. Obviously, been a little bit of a neutral.
A little bit. Well, we haven't mentioned it. The fact that the 4 best performing third place teams in the groups get through to the round of 16. And I think England gets to the round of 16, but then they're coming up against Portugal, Spain, or France.
Yes.
So
or Germany.
Or Germany, sorry. Who's in the next group along? Is it
Spain, Poland, Sweden, Slovakia, Germany, France, Portugal, Hungary? So any of them.
Yeah, without a defined system and like a concrete starting 11, I can't see England getting past round of 16. I just can't see it. As soon as we come up against a proper team with a proper system that knows what they're doing, it's curtains.
Liam J. Kent, our friend who came on the show a while ago, said it's Germany, lads. If we win group, we play Germany next round, essentially.
Is that depending on where Germany finish, though?
Well, I think he's assuming that France win Group F.
Yeah. But will England even win the group?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it?
Anyway,
Ben, where do you see England getting to? Because I agree with Mike. I think round of 16, I'll be impressed if we go beyond that. And I might be being negative. And listen, I am fickle as fuck. If we win the first game 4-0, I'll be fully singing Vindaloo, scarf tied round my head, running up and down garden, pretending I'm Alan Shearer, even though I look like him. Somebody keeps saying it in comments. But I just can't feel. I don't feel it. I'm not excited by the team. I'm excited by individuals in the team. I think we've got some potential world class players, but we're just a bit dull. We don't appear to have any. It's like Gary Monk runs us.
Yeah,
we don't appear to have any. Like Southgate is hell bent on just being solid. Let's just be solid.
Yeah. We've got all these attacking players that are quite possibly the best set of attacking players we have had in a good few years, and it's like we can't get to them. And I don't think, as we just sort of went through there trying to pick a team, I don't think Southgate knows who to pick.
No, and that's what's worrying, isn't it?
And the problem is, there's no. we're trying to make a system around fitting all these players in, and for me that never works. That's how Leeds United have been for the last 16 years before Bielsa. We had these players and we tried to make a team rather than having a way of playing and putting players into that. Yeah. Well, because if there's no
decisive, right?
Yeah.
What's less decisive than not deciding not to take a player to a tournament and then go, but you can stay and hang around if you want and train with us, and I might play you in some friendlies. What the fuck is that all about? Honestly,
it's pathetic, really. And okay, it's nice to give him game time and stuff like that, but it's not.
It wants to be liked by everyone, doesn't he? Like,
do you know if you're looking at going into a tournament like that, and for me it'd be like, right, this is who I'm taking. We're gonna, even if you change, like you play 2 different or 4 different teams over the halves and whatever in the 2 games, as long as you're putting them teams and the right players into how you're going to play and getting them used to playing that, because that's the main thing with international football. You're not there to make anyone a better footballer. That's not the job of international football. You're there to put the best players in a system that's going to win you the World Cup or the Euros.
Yeah.
So, and it don't feel like that at all. I've put a bet on England, and it's just a bet, and I just thought, I guess I've been really negative about it. I put a bet on England to not get out of the group. I forgot that the third place thing was a thing, so that might change a thing. But if we don't, I think I'll get like 100 odd quid. So.
Yeah, win-win.
Yeah, we'll see. Liam Kemp, friend of the show, says he still believes it's an England-France final. He's done homework. You heard it here first. So, yeah, well, I'm going to write that down, actually, and I'm going to bring that back up, Liam, at the end, because I know you listen week in, week out, all the way from Dubai. I do have some quite envious stares at some of your Instagram posts, looking out a window over at Burj Khalifa.
Hey, it's been like Dubai here last few days.
It's not Royston, for sure. So, moving on then, let's get some... go on. Let's get some score predictions for the first game then against Croatia. Does Davor Suker still play for Croatia? Is he still a thing for them?
Don't think so.
I think that's World Cup 98, that, isn't it?
What a player. But they have got Modric, and they do have one of the sexiest international shirts up and down the land, I feel, with that checkboard thing.
And they've got Mandzukic.
Yeah, Mario Mandzukic. Isn't he about 75 years old, though, Mandzukic? So, Raggy did send us his prediction for this one. He's gone for a 1-1 draw. Ben, coming to you first, mate. How do you see it going?
2-1 Croatia.
Oof, painful. Mikey, how do you see it going,
7-0 Croatia. No.
Mike's going 7-0.
No. 2-1 Croatia.
2-1 Croatia. I'm going to, after all me saying I'm not into all that type of stuff, I'm going to go for a 2-1 England win.
Yeah!
Just to be different, 2-1 England win. So that's what I'm going for. That kind of brings us to the end of Raggy's Predicts. Obviously, Raggy's is not here this week, but he'll be back next week for taking his place rightly as Predictor Man. But we need to get into a little bit of this, and I feel like it will raise some quite interesting talking points.
Shithouse of the week.
So, the Shithouse of the week section, one of our favourite sections, and we've got a few nominations in here. We'll go into them in a little bit more detail in a moment. I put Gareth Southgate in there just for his negativity towards some of the best attacking players that we've got. Booers of the knee, which I'll come to Ben in a minute, and he's got a point to make on this. FIFA for the big Kev mess. So, if anybody's not seen, RB Leipzig went public yesterday that they've won the case against Leeds United and we have to pay for Big Kev. However, it's not quite as cut and dry as that, as Leeds do have the chance to appeal, and they probably will do, so it'll drag on for quite some months after that until we get a real outlay, so it's probably worth discussing it a bit later on.
I think the main thing with that is what agreements have been made since then. So we've pretty much let JK disappear off to France, to Nantes, and he's played there for a bit, and I don't think they're too happy with him. So if it comes to it that we have to pay Leipzig, what is there must be some kind of agreement of money we get, Because, or have we just sort of said it's not even worth entertaining it? But then why would you do that if it's going to cost you 20 odd million?
I don't know. We'll definitely appeal, without doubt. So
Yeah.
we'll just have to wait and see. There's a lot of connotations with it, I think. Now, this particularly annoyed me, but before we get into this, we'll talk. Harry Chapman, got above Harry Chapman in there for selling us duff information. We don't really mean it, Harry. We love you, really.
Yeah.
The Big Six, then, we discussed it at great length about the Big Six ransoming the beautiful game to go and, plunder the riches and all that type of stuff. The punishments come out today. So they've been threatened that they'll have a points deduction if they ever do it again. And they've been fined a massive amount of 3.5 million each. So the teams who ran away to make more and more money at the cost of the beautiful game have been fined what is the equivalent of a 10-minute detention for forgetting your French homework for clubs whose turnover is absolutely monumental. 3.5 million to them clubs is absolute change, coppers down the back of the sofa. That is not a deterrent. That is not a way of saying to these teams it's not acceptable. All that is you've been caught, don't do it again, they'll be back. They'll be back in 2 or 3 years.
But will they? Because the thing of 30 odd million and a big points deduction if they do it
20
again.
20 points if they do it again. But all they'll do is they'll just dress it up a different way. They'll attack it a different way.
But if they're going to do it,
change the format of the Champions League.
True.
To allow, they're already pushing, throwing the weight around. I hope they won't, but they're already.
I guess the punishment if they do it again is the big one, because if they do it again, they've got to make sure it happens. Yeah. Because if they
get caught,
if they get 20 points deducted, that's them not getting in Europe.
Yeah, but if they get points deduction, but they're leaving anyway. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why it has to. If they do that, it has to go ahead.
But the thing that annoys me is it's this entitlement again. So it's this entitlement even from the fans. Oh, we like Rafinha, we're coming to take him. Well, hold on, no, you're not. Back up with this entitlement. We like that dickhead at Real Madrid, Perez. Yeah. 1 minute he's turning round about, it's not fair. We can't sustain this. We can't maintain that. Blah 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 blah. Then he gets Ancelotti, and they're already talking about signing Mbappe. It's fucking ludicrous. Are these people honestly for real?
Didn't the other week there was, it might have been last week, there was some kind of argument at Real Madrid about taking a pay cut, and I think the players might have said no, because taking a pay cut just to go and then spend 300 grand a week on Mbappe or whoever it's going to be that they'll sign, it's not helping their situation, is it? But no. I guess Real Madrid and Barcelona, and I guess Juventus, are at a point now where their debts are so high. The only way to sort of keep that going is to keep getting in more debt, because they can't get themselves out of it now, and that's why they're the big pushers of the European Super League.
Yeah. Well, with Real Madrid, I'm pretty sure the royal family used to just wipe their debt.
Yeah.
So obviously something's changed, but it is astronomical. Like, to get into $1 billion of debt, where Leeds got into, I think it was not even 100 mil.
Yeah.
And, we had to have a fire sale. I think that's why it really rings. It's a real bitter pill that for us. We lost everything.
But that's it. They're trying their best to get away from doing that, from being the next Leeds United in a massive, superly different sort of scale.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're in there. Shithouse of the week. So this one, it's ran in the national press about fans opting to boo the taking of the knee, and we've seen clips on social media as well of people filming themselves booing at the telly, which is a bit obscure at best.
It's a bit fucking weird.
It's a bit strange, isn't it? To be sure. I mean, Ben, I'm gonna come to you because I know you've got a bit of a rant about the booers of the knee, but it's a really difficult one, this, and I've spoke to many people about this over the last couple of days. I was texting Adam Barlow last night, and I spoke to my missus about it. we're essentially telling people who are fighting for equality that they shouldn't do that. So in its very nature,
I guess
we're going against them fighting for equality by not letting them be equal because we're not letting them. Well,
yeah, and this is the whole thing of it. And I guess I can see the point about the Black Lives Matter thing and them protests and how that, in a way, last year sort of got away from the real protest. There was riots and stuff like that, and I can understand the hatred against that because you can't be going and rioting and smashing things up just to get your own way. That's not normal people. That's not what you should be doing in life. That's criminals. That's not the way to get what you want. But to boo, and people need to distinguish between that. What the England players and any of the footballers are trying to put against, like make a stand against. Distinguish that, for like take it, like separate it from the Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. This is about racial inequalities, and I guess the main thing is, like with the George Floyd, that I guess you can take that example. Police stop and search black people more often than they do everyone else, and they're treated that way. And all it's sort of saying is, you don't discriminate people because of the colour of the skin. We've had brilliant people at our club like Lucas Radaby, Tony Yeboah, and whatever.
Yeah.
And it's all the same thing, isn't it? We had the first black player ever to play in the FA Cup final, but then to them boo, we cheer them. Lucas Radaby's like a god at Ellen Road. We've got sweets named after him. He's people's favourite player. Then to boo a team who are standing up against something, and they're not saying no one's. People come up with like all lives matter and all that. All they're saying is whether you're black, Asian, whatever. Even I guess in some places, if you're a white person, although it's not so much for white people, but all it's saying is everyone should be equal, and that's what they're standing against. Like the discrimination of other people, of anyone, and that all they're doing is showing a support for that.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's
obviously we don't want to go on for this because we don't want to be accused of being political and all that type of stuff as well. But for me,
but it's not even political, is it?
No, that's the thing. Exactly,
it's just being a decent human that people should just get treated how you'd want to be treated.
Yeah,
and treated with the same respect that everyone else should get respect. And I'm not saying that people can do their own destinies, and if people want to get into criminality and drugs and be bad people, then they're not bad people because they're black or Asian or white. They're bad people because they're bad people. They want to go down that path. And what they're saying is, not all them people are bad people. Most of them are good people. And they need to be treated like good people and treat the bad people like bad people.
Yeah.
As sort of way around that goes.
It's really easy to overcomplicate it, you know. Just listen to what the players are saying. If Calvin, you know, let's take it back to our end and say, if Calvin wants to do something, I'm behind him fully.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's not up to me to tell him what his experiences are, what his family's experiences are, what his mates' experiences are on social media in real life. You know, if he wants to do something, he's not hurting anyone, and it's not, you know, like you say, it's not a political thing. If he wants to do it, he's got my full support.
Mate, I sit on exactly the same standpoint. Yeah, I'll if that's what they want to do, I'll support them. I'm not in a position to tell people what they should and shouldn't do in regards to racial equality because I've never been discriminated against. So I'm not in a position to tell people that they shouldn't do it. You know what I mean? Like, I'll support anybody who stands up for themselves, no matter what it is. To be honest. Yeah.
And there's a comment from Alan Sturck. It says, once crowds come back, boom will be off the scale. In my pub, the consensus was that it's not racist, but politics should be not in sport. This is nothing to do with politics. Politics is who you vote for. If you want to go on about politics, there's millions of things you can go pull our government up on, and the inequalities that they're bringing about. This is not about politics. It's about just being nice people to each other.
Yeah. I agree. Totally
Politics
agree.
has always been in sport, by the way. You can't separate them. This idea that, you know, keep politics out of sport. Politics has always been in sport, you know. I think
you can put it down to, I guess it's religion, but in a way it's kind of politics. You've got Protestants and Catholics in Celtic and Rangers and stuff like that. And
when it's something we don't agree with, because if you agree with it, you don't notice it, because it's part and parcel of the sport, you know. So now something's come up that generally people don't enjoy, and they notice it and they go, "Oh, keep that out of my sport," you know. Who knows?
Alistair Kaz says he's just the messenger, which fair enough. I'm not pointing at any fingers at any one person, but just think about what you're booing against. There was a thing on TalkSport that I caught the other day that a guy who was booing, he didn't really know what he was booing about. He was just booing because of this movement against Marxism and all this and politics and stuff like that. I don't think any of the players think like that. It's just they don't want their mate, their teammate or whatever, people who they work with, like anyone else's people that they work with, don't want them being abused because of the colour of the skin or where they're from or whatever. They're just trying to get on in life and do what they've got to do.
Yeah. I mean, I want to be really careful not for us to sound like we're preaching. At the end of the day, people will do what they want to do. But I think us three and Raggy, who can speak for him to an extent, we're all of the same song sheet. And I work by a very, very simple rule. And the very, very simple rule is, I don't know what Marxism is. I couldn't tell you, to be honest. I've not really looked into it. I don't believe that taking the knee is a politics thing in sport whatsoever. I just believe that as humans, we should treat each other as you would expect to be treated, no matter what the background. No matter where they're from, what the background, what religion they choose to do, what sexuality they decide to take, all that type of stuff. It don't mean anything to me. They're just people. There's people who I'd treat the way I wanted to be treated. Yeah. And that's like how I kind of live my life to an extent. You know, I've got many different friends of many different backgrounds, and I don't see them as friends from different backgrounds. They're just my friends. They're just my friends, that's it. I don't see, this is my friend and he's from wherever. No, he's just my friend. He's just whoever it may be. I don't work to this, he's from here, he's from that, he's from the other. You know what? We could go round and round in circles this all night. If you want to boo the knee, then boo the knee, but maybe you need to look into actually what it's about and listen to what the players are saying to you, rather than just booing because everybody else is booing. But anyway.
And look at who's pushing it and why they're pushing it. I'm not going to go into any more than that, but just look into that.
All right, okay. So look into that. I don't know what that is either, but look into it. So, lads, we ran off on a tangent a little bit there, but things need to be said, I think. Shithouse of the week, Gareth Southgate, Boos of the knee, FIFA for the big mess with Big Kev, 3.5 million for the 6 breakaway shithouses, and Harry Chapman with a tongue-in-cheek fully, because we love Harry. Are we getting it to, lads? Ben's going to say Harry Chapman here, just to be a bit of a pain in the ass.
Well, he messaged me, right, and he said he read it wrong, and it's an honour to be Shithouse of the week. So, in being because it's an honour, I want to give him it.
Listen, we've just talked about for the last 10 minutes how we should treat everybody equally. So Harry's honoured to be Shithouse of the week, so I think we vote Harry as well.
I can't, Yeah, Harry. Go on then.
Harry, congratulations, mate. You're Shithouse of the week. Harry will be buzzing with that. I like Harry. He's a top lad. Moving on to other stuff then. We've got some news. A little bit of exclusive reveal unleashed. So, for anybody who's listened to us for the previous 150 odd episodes, I know we're up to 148, but we did go 120.1.2.3, blah blah blah.
We went to 167 last week when you did it.
because I put it wrong in the computer. Anyway, so here's the big reveal, if you like. We are gonna not be recording via the internet for much longer. On commencement of the Euros, we've got a new home. We've got a new place to go and call our own and record together as a quad again,
as a unit,
after being so detached for so long. So a big massive thanks to Dan down at the Tipsy Cow in Morley, a lovely little boozer in Morley. He's going to host us every Wednesday down at the Tipsy Cow, 7:30. We're going to record live from inside the pub. So to that end, if you want to come down, have a beer, sit around, listen to us record, come and have a pint with us after. Want a glasses? No, don't glasses. Like that. Then get yourself down to the
You can
Tipsy
take the
Cow.
glass in.
Yeah, mister, I've been punched enough times. I don't need any help. Yeah, all joking apart, big thanks to Dan. Come down to the Tipsy Cow Wednesday, commencement of the Euros. Have a couple of beers, sit around, listen to us record. When we start getting guests on, some guests will be coming down as well, so an opportunity to meet people you might not normally get the chance to meet. And yeah, so that's going to be like our regular Wednesday night slot from now on. So looking forward, lads, to getting back to talking to each other again in an actual place where we can have a bit more banter. I mean, it's a little bit difficult sometimes over the internet because we have to not talk over each other and all that type of stuff. But, you know, we'll be back like we used to be before we locked down. For a bonus point, who was our last guest before we locked down? Bit hard one for you, Mike, because obviously you weren't here with us at the time. But
who was it? I watched the show.
Yeah, you did, mate. Who was it?
I can't remember.
Was it
No, I don't. Was it Forshaw?
Nope.
Kinnear or Forshaw?
No, it weren't, no.
Seems that
It was
long
Dave
ago.
Best of the Pigeon Detectives fame. He was our last studio guest.
I was in Poland.
You was in Poland, and the week after we locked down. So, yeah, we're getting back in. We're getting back together. We're gonna have some a camera set up, all that type of stuff. But fear not, if you don't live near Morley, we'll still be streaming via the platforms that we normally stream via, so you can still get involved, all that type of stuff. You might just hear the odd clink clank of a glass in the background and all that type.
Better than a motorbike.
Better than a motorbike that's now doing rounds around my house again. Nice one. So yeah, big thanks again to Dan and the Tipsy Cow. It's a cracking little boozer. Get down there and have a pint and come down and see us. Obviously, don't forget that we've still got some merchandise for sale down Nanya Garms with Krish. Go check it out. Go buy some Talking Shut Clobber and show us it, and that'd be lovely if you would. And yeah, lads, we need to hear from one of our final sponsors, the guys at the Social Maze. They'll manage your social media management to really get your business out there if that's sort of your method of business doing via social media. It's a great tool. Social media will get you far and wide around the world, as we've experienced a few times on this show, from getting messages from China and Canada and literally all over the world. It still blows my mind to this point. So get involved at the Social Maze if you need people to run your business. They charge just £99 a month. They'll manage your social media and get your word out there. They'll look after it, make it look snazzy, and they'll really maximise your business potential in there. So go check them out, socialmaze.com or info@thesocialmaze. Lads, I feel it's been a bit of a strange one. Episode 148, not 68, but it's a pleasure to be back. We'll be back next week, won't we, with some Euro news and various other things, any Leeds stuff that is going to be coming out, all that type of stuff.
Probably a bit of live updates as well.
A bit of live updates from games, yeah. It's been an absolute pleasure again, gents, to welcome you back. Remember, if you're listening to the podcast back on any of the podcast providers, podcast apps, all that type of stuff, thank you for constantly downloading it. We've had a steady increase in downloads in the recent weeks, but please go over and like our YouTube channel as well. As I said, there are some interviews coming up on there with past players and people associated with the club. So yeah, get involved in that as well. Big thanks to
Get subscribed.
Manscaped and the Social Maze for continuing to sponsor us, and we'll see you next week.
Thumbs up as well. You need to give a thumbs up on the YouTube. YouTube likes that.
Oh dear. Alright, thumbs up on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be lovely.
Thumbs up and subscribe.
Does that do something to the algorithm?
Algorithms, yeah.
Algorithms. Anyway.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Right. We need like a
Smack
picture
that
of a
like button.
finger and a bell.
Smash
Anyway.
that like button.
Yeah, smash that like button. Anyway, lads, it's been a
200,000
pleasure
likes
again.
by tonight.
We'll be back
Yeah.
with Raggy next week, who will do much better on his predictor. And enjoy
If
the
we, get,
Euros.
if we get 1 million likes, Gaz will shave his balls live on show.
Well, mate, we're sponsored by Manscaped. I've no to shave.
Alright, well, when it grows back.
Definitely not doing that, but anyway, it's been a pleasure. We'll see you next week.
For a
Enjoy the
million likes,
Euros.
we
Enjoy
will.
your weekend in the sun. Wear sunscreen.
See you.
I'll see there.
See that.